Everybody from the kingdom, come on, let's make some noise. Let's open up your mouth and just celebrate that you are kingdom. You are the head and no longer the tail. You are a lender always and never a borrower. Come on, y'all, tell them who they are. Kingdom. Called to restore the earth. You are.
All right, everybody. Darrell Porter here, your Kingdom Wealth Coach and Director of Training for Team Wacoa, coming to you guys with a financial education video. This is going to be some advanced level training, guys. I want to make sure that as we start on our path of doing different training seminars and webinars, to make sure to lay a solid foundation on some of the things that we're going to be training on. And a lot of times I'm going to step outside the box of just Switch Go Global, because when it comes to your knowledge base, guys, you got to have knowledge of the whole industry. Okay, you got to become a subject matter expert. One of the mistakes I used to make on my path, or during my 20-something years of experience in the network marketing industry, guys, is a lot of times I led with the product or the opportunity, and I kept trying to figure out why things wasn't working out for me. It's because that wasn't the right way to do it. So once I got the right mentor, my mentor taught me you never lead with the opportunity, or you never lead with the product. So the next best thing, guys, is to get educated on your industry. So in this case, guys, we are in the financial education industry, and we're also part of the precious metals or the gold and silver industry. So you got to learn about gold and silver. You got to learn about the financial services industry as it relates to everything that deals with financial services, the banking system. As far as gold and silver, how many grams is in an ounce? Those type of things, guys, you got to become subject matter experts, and that's what's going to help build your business, because you want to brand yourself, not the company. The company's already branded. So you want to brand yourself as a subject matter expert to get people to trust you, because here's the key, guys. People don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care. And how you show people you care is by sharing knowledge and information with them that they really can use, that actually get their mind to thinking about where they are, and getting them to come to you about what you're doing. That's when you know you really mastered this thing. You become a subject matter expert when people start reaching out to you. And that's the key, and that's what we're going to teach you, guys. So as a part of my my duties as a director of training, that's my job, to make sure that I give you guys that type of training, so that it'll make you a subject matter expert in the field of financial education and in precious metals. Okay, very important. So with that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and get into this training, and I'm going to post this training on our Group Me page so you guys can have access to it, and you can send it out to your people. So again, this is advanced level training, and I'm often asked that question, guys: do you lead with the product or the opportunity? I actually just answered that for you. And you never lead with the product or the opportunity. You have to become a subject matter expert. And because we have no financial education in our school system, people have no clue what to do. So again, guys, people don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care. And how do you show them how much you care? By having knowledge on the areas that they're struggling in. Very, very important. So we're going to talk about the banker's secret. Okay, we're going to talk about the banker's secret today. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, what's the banker's secret? But we're going to get into that. When you ask people what they are doing to build wealth, most people will say things like they got a 401k, they got IRA, they got mutual funds, they got CDs, they got savings accounts, they got stocks and bonds. You'll always get one of these answers, because these are the only financial vehicles that most people know. And as you can see, gold and silver is not even listed on here, because there's only about 3 or 4% of the people in this country even involved in gold and silver. So the people that you're talking to probably don't even know that they can get involved in gold and silver. But these are the vehicles, guys, that most people are trying to build wealth in. And what's the one thing that all of these vehicles have in common? They're all attached to the dollar. And you all know that we talk about it all the time, that the dollar is one day going to fail, guys. It's going to one day go to zero, And guess what that's going to mean for all of these financial vehicles or these wealth building vehicles? Everything that's attached to the dollar is going to crash right along with the dollar. It's called the domino effect. So these vehicles right now are really not safe places to be. And people are already feeling the crunch on some of these things, guys. 401ks have been taking a hit big time. So people are already feeling that. So when you start asking questions to people, these are the type of questions you want to ask them. What are you doing to build wealth? These are good conversation starters. Okay, what are you doing to build wealth? Or what do you know about gold and silver? These are great conversation starters, guys. So again, all of these financial vehicles became very risky after 1971 when President Nixon took us off the gold standard. Why? Again, because every last one of them are attached to the dollar. Okay, very, very important that you help people understand that when they start talking about they building wealth through 401ks and IRAs, they have to understand that the money game has changed since 1971. So it becomes important for you guys. This is an important fact for you to know that since 1971, the game of money has changed. They need to know that, and you need to know that. And I guarantee you, most people don't even know this happened because this has not been taught in our schools. Yeah, they may learn about President Nixon, but this is the one thing that the school will never tell you that he done. Again, so these are things that you have to learn on your own, guys. When a dollar goes to zero, so will everything that's attached to it. When you talk like this, you have to be able to back up what you're saying, guys. So this rule becomes very important to learn. What rule? The rule of 72. This is called the banker's secret, guys. When I was with Prime America back in the day, we used to do what we call the FNA, a financial needs analysis. And what it does, it showed people where they are right now financially, talked about where they wanted to be, and then put a plan in place to show them how to get to where they wanted to be. Okay, it's called a financial needs analysis. You can do these with anybody, guys. You don't have to write anything down. Only thing you got to do is find out how much money you think you're going to need in retirement when you retire to be able to live off of and not have to go back to work. Okay, that's a very easy question to ask somebody. How much money will you need at retirement to be able to live off of in order to not have to be able to go back to work, or in order to not have to go back to work? Okay, very easy, guys. Very, very, very easy. So let's use as an example. Let's say somebody needed $5,000 a month in order to stay retired and not have to work again. Because of our current monetary system, guys, that person would need about $500,000 in their account, earning at least 8% interest. When you start sharing numbers like this, just watch the person's face when you share this number with them. Or if it's 3,000, they're gonna need 300,000. If it's 4,000, they're gonna need 400,000. So when you share these numbers, just watch their facial expression, because the person gonna realize it's virtually impossible with this current system for them to be able to do that. Impossible. Virtually impossible. This is what we call compounding interest, guys. And up until this point, it's always worked against us, because again, we didn't have the right knowledge for it to work for us. And again, all of this is going to change, guys, because we're going to be teaching and training on all these different systems and learning how to make these systems work for us and not against us. So when you share these type of numbers with them, people are going to lose faith. They're going to lose confidence in what they're doing, because now they understand and realize it's virtually impossible for me to be able to make it in this current system, guys. Now they're wide open to receive anything you're going to say. Very important, guys. Okay, so let's show you how this thing called the rule of 72 works. Okay, this is the banker's secret. The rule of 72 is 72 divided by an interest rate equals your money doubled. So in other words, whatever interest rate you're getting on your money divided by 72, and it'll show you how long it's going to take for your money to double. This was an Einstein invention. Very powerful, guys. So in our example, we're going to use 4%, we're going to use 6%, and we're going to use 12%. Okay, so if you have your dollars in a system that's averaging 4% a year, You divide 72 by 4, it's going to give you 18 years. So that means it's going to take you 18 years. Every 18 years, your money's going to double. So right off the bat, guys, you got to ask yourself, how many 18 years do you have? How many opportunities of 18 years do you have for your money to double? Because right here, we're starting with the age of 29. Okay, so in this first example, guys, at the age of 29, we're going to use $10,000 as our investment in this example. So at the age of 29, you invested $10,000 in your vehicle that's earning you 4%, and your money is going to double every 18 years now because you understand the rule of 72. So at the age of 47, which is 18 years after 29, you're going to have $20,000. And then 18 years after that, which is going to put you at the age of 65, it's going to give you $40,000. Now we're using 65 as the age of retirement, and we all know that number is already increased. So again, guys, this is for example purposes only. So at retirement age, you would have $40,000, and you already know, guys, based on the numbers that we just talked about, you're going to need almost 100 times the amount that you need to retire on. It's virtually impossible for you to retire on $40,000. What about 6%? Say you found an investment vehicle that's earning you 6% a year on your money. Okay, you divide 72 by 6, and now you have 12 years. So again, a $10,000 investment at the age of 29, 12 years after that, you're 41 years old, your money's doubled to $20,000. Another 12 years at the age of 53, your money's doubled to $40,000. And then another 12 years to the age 65, your money has doubled to $80,000. So again, guys, that's not going to be enough for you to retire on, because you already know what you need in order to survive off of $5,000 a month. And I told you it's making at least 8%. So I probably should have put 8% in there to show you what 8% would look like, but it's all good. We're going to go ahead and go to the 12%. Okay, so 12%, you found a vehicle that's giving you 12%. That means 12% divided into 72 is going to give you 6 years. So your money will double every 6 years. So at the age of 29, again, you started with a $10,000 investment. 6 years later, you're at $20,000 at the age of 35. 6 years later, you're at $40,000 at the age of 41. 6 years later, you're at $80,000 at the age of 47. 6 years later, guys, you're at $160,000 at the age of 53. And then 6 years later, you're at $320,000 at the age of 59. And then by the time you hit age 65, the retirement age, you have over $640,000 in your account. Now, this strategy will actually work for somebody who said that they can survive off of $5,000 a month, because they were going to need at least $500,000 in that account. So this one will work. So the 4% we'll say represents a bank, even though we know a bank not going to pay you no 4%. The average for a bank is anywhere from half a percent to 1%. And 6% we'll use as maybe a CD or a mutual fund. And 12% we'll use as a stock or a mutual fund, because there are some mutual funds where you can earn 12%. In the stock market, the annual percentage rate on the stock market is running anywhere about 12% or higher. But again, the higher the percentage, guys, the more riskier it is. And we all know how the stock market can be risky. And at the same time, we all understand, again, that all of these different vehicles are attached to the dollar. So when you start educating people on this type of system, guys, you understand that you're teaching them, that you're showing them that it's not going to work. So who is this working for? It's working for the banks. It's working for the banks. So if you're getting 4% from your bank and you end up with $40,000 in your account, but the bank is making 12% on your money because they take your money and they put it into the market, and they understand the rule of 72. So guess what? They're trying to get the highest percentage that they can get. So they're getting the 12%. They making $640,000 off of your money. So in summary, guys, leaving your money in the bank is a $600,000 decision. Because keep in mind, guys, banks don't have money. Banks operate off of OPM, other people's money. That's why when you put your money into that bank, they give you a percentage on your money because you're loaning your money to the bank. You're loaning your money to the bank. They have what they call fractional reserve banking, and I'll do a training on this. But fractional reserve banking is where the bank is allowed to loan out, okay, 90% of what comes into the bank. They're able to loan it out 10 times. Fractional reserve banking means they only have to keep on reserve 10% of the money that's deposited into the bank. So if you deposited $10,000 into that bank, that means $9,000 of that $10,000 can be loaned out 10 times, guys. $9,000 can be loaned out 10 times. What does that say? That means, guys, that they can loan out over $90,000 into loans, guys, and charging people anywhere from 9 to 12% on the loans. So again, you see how they're getting their money. They end up with the $600,000. So this is not a good system to be a part of, guys. And here's why gold and silver becomes important. Now, in our presentations, we talk about how gold has increased in value since 1932 over 4,300%. That's 84 years, guys. From 2016, from 1932 to 2016, that's 84 years. If you average that out a year, that's a 51% increase every year for the last 84 years. So when it comes to a strategy on saving money, guys, okay, when it comes to a strategy on saving money, there's no better vehicle out there. And here's another key of success, guys. When you're dealing with gold and silver, you're not investing. We're converting paper currency into real money, which is gold and silver. But when you're dealing in dollars and in the stock market, yeah, you are investing, because it's dollar for dollar. So really, truthfully, guys, you can't compare the dollar to gold and silver. The dollar can't really be compared to gold and silver. You got to compare apple to apple. So in other words, to understand the value of gold and silver, you got to compare it to stuff like land. Okay, I've seen a prediction out there that you'll be able to purchase 1 acre of land for 45 acres of land for 1 ounce of silver. I've seen a prediction out there like that. So that's how you compare apples to apples. Great concept, guys. Great rule if you know how to use it. Okay, so I just empowered you guys again with this thing called the Rule of 72. Use it to your advantage. Talk to your people. Your friends and your family need to know about this, because this rule is working against them right now. And you have a better plan for them. Gold and silver, you can't go wrong with it. All right, guys, I hope this helps. Again, this is a powerful training. I wanted to get this training out there, next level training, advanced level training. And we'll do more training like this. Again, this is one of those outside the box trainings to where we're going to have these type of topics to help us become subject matter experts in the field of financial education, as well as in the field of gold and silver. All right, so be prepared, guys. These are the type of trainings we're going to be doing here and there, and still, training within the industry as well, within what we're doing. So again, I'm excited, guys. Excited about the different training platforms and the different training events that are coming up. So I hope you guys are excited about this, and I hope this helps you. All right, guys, God bless. Take care. Again, Darrell Porter, your Kingdom Wealth Coach, Director of Training for Team Wacoa, signing out. Please use this as a tool, as a marketing tool for your business, because it definitely will help you. All right, guys, take care. God bless. Until my next video, I will see you guys over the top.
Let everybody from the kingdom, come on, let's make some noise. Let's open up your mouth and just celebrate that you are kingdom. You are the head and no longer the tail. You are a lender always and never a borrower. Come on, y'all, tell them who they are. Kingdom.